So I've got some brand new wheels for the Lambo that just came in the other day. I'm going to be putting them on here in this video. Actually, I got to take the stock rims and tires off. And then tomorrow I got to take the stock wheels and tires, plus these new wheels, to a shop to get these wheels mounted on the tires that are on the car right now. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to remove these wheels, and while I'm at it, I'm also going to remove the corner marker, the corner markers on the front, and the corner markers on the rear, and I'm also going to remove the tail lights, because the only way to get all of these things off is to have the wheel removed anyways. So while I'm taking the wheels off, I'm going to remove all those lights and have them sent out to get a light coat of black on them so they look smoked out. So I'm going to actually send those out somewhere to get sprayed, and then tomorrow I'm going to get the new rims, the new wheels, I keep saying rims, the new wheels mounted on the tires that are on the car right now. So let's go take a look at the wheels, and I'll tell you why I decided to go with these. So these are the OZ, well, first of all, these are OZ racing wheels. For those of you who don't know, OZ Racing Wheels is an Italian wheel manufacturer. They also provide the wheels, the OEM wheels, to Lamborghini for the Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera, for those of you who did not know that. So I decided to go with these wheels because, first of all, I like how they look. I wanted black wheels, and I wanted wheels that kind of looked like the Superleggera wheels. The second reason why I decided to buy these is because they are very, very affordable. So I got all four wheels shipped to my door for around 1,800 bucks. That's pretty cheap for Lambo wheels. Usually people, a lot of people run these wheels on their Lambos, but if you want to get something like HRE wheels or ADV1 wheels or whatever they're called, you'd be looking to spend like 8 to 10 grand. And I really didn't want to drop that kind of coin on some black wheels that, on a car that I might only keep for another couple years, might keep it forever, I don't know. I just couldn't justify spending 8 to 10 grand on wheels when I could spend 1,800 bucks and get something that looks identical. So that's why I decided to go with these wheels. The looks, and of course the price point was very attractive. These are great wheels. They look awesome. They are stock width. These are the rears. They're about 11 inches wide. The fronts are on the bottom. I think they're about 8 inches. And you also use the stock Lamborghini center cap. So they look like OEM Lamborghini wheels. The average person would look at these wheels when they're on the car, and they probably wouldn't look like aftermarket wheels. So what we're going to do now is we're going to crack loose all the lug nuts on the car while the wheels are still, while the weight of the car is still on the ramps. So I can crack the lug nuts loose on all four tires. Then once we do that, then I'm going to jack up the front of the car, remove the ramps here, and then place jack stands on each corner of the front of the car, and then we're going to do the same for the rear. So let's go ahead and crack the lug nuts loose. So the next part of this process is getting this jack stand right here, right about here. This is the spot where this is a lifting point on the Gallardo. So what we want to do is I want to jack up each front side of the car separately, and then I'm going to remove this ramp, and then I'm going to place a jack stand right here with a piece of wood to secure the car on this corner. Then I'm going to do the same over on that corner, and then we can proceed with removing the front wheels. I'm going to use a bottle jack to jack up the car because you can't really fit a big jack over here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the front wheels are off the ground now. You can see you've got jack stands under there. Jack stand on this corner with a piece of wood. Jack stand on that corner with a piece of wood. And then just for safety purposes, there's no weight on that front bottle jack right there. But that bottle jack is just snugly placed under the front cross bracing across the front of the car. There's another lift point there. So if for whatever reason one of these jacks were to fail, then we've got that bottle jack as a backup. I always like to have a backup jack because I'm always, you can never be too safe, especially when you're doing work on a car like a Lambo. So the front tires are off the ground. We'll go ahead and we will do the rear now, and that's a little different. That is going to involve I don't know how well you can see this. Let me turn my light on. There we go. So we've got the light. So this is obviously the rear differential, and this right here, this big thick piece of aluminum, is the lift point for the rear. So what we're going to do, this runs across the entire back of the car under the transmission. The engine's up there. We're going to jack up the rear right here, and then once we get the the rear tires off of those stands there, we're going to place the jack stands on each corner. One right here, or probably one right here, and then another one right there. So 2 jack stands. I'll probably can put 4 just to be safe. So that's what we'll do for the rear. So let's go do that. But before we do that, I want to say one thing. That every time I post a video about doing work on the Lambo, everyone's always like, "Oh, aren't you afraid to work on the car?" Or, you're not afraid to dig into it and to do mods to it. What are you, crazy? And the truth is, it's just a car like any other car on the road, like a Ford Focus or a Honda Civic, Ford Mustang. That's all pretty much the same thing. It doesn't matter, it's a Lamborghini, it's still a car. I mean, if you've worked on cars before, then it's really not much different working on one of these. And as long as you know what you're doing and you're smart about things, using jack stands and extra jack stands and really taking your time, it's hard to mess something up. So all you guys asking, why are you working on the car yourself? What are you, crazy? I mean, come on. I bought the car to own and do what I want with it. I'm not going to work on it. That's what I like to do. So that's the answer to that. So let's go ahead and jack up the rear and get the wheels off this thing. Okay, got all the wheels off, laid out here. Car's up on jack stands. See completely underneath it, which is kind of crazy. I always get freaked out when I do put cars up on jack stands, but I've got more than enough under there in case something happens. Even put the ramps underneath the brake calipers or the brake rotors just in case, but I think we're good. So the lug nuts on a Lamborghini are actually lug bolts. As you can see here, it's kind of blurry. I've never actually, all the cars I've ever owned always had lug nuts, so when I saw these, I was kind of, they were new to me, but I guess a lot of VWs and German cars have lug bolts. But yeah, that's what it looks like once the wheel is off. This is all aluminum here. You got the wheels back. Here's one of the rears. Just got done cleaning it up a little bit. Got a little bit dirty with, from the mounting process. This is the stuff I used to clean the car. You saw me use this in the Lambo bug removal video. It's made by Chemical Guys. It's really cool if you want to keep just a quick way to clean your wheels and your paint on your car. I love that stuff. It's Chemical Guys Optical Select High Gloss Sealant Spray. For anyone who's curious, one of the things I like about these wheels is that the OEM center caps work with them, so I don't have to use the ones that say OZ Racing on them. these should just pop right in. So let's see. These are like 50 bucks a piece, I think. Maybe even be more than that. So don't want to break them. All right, so that's let me put the camera down for a sec. Wait, lift this wheel up. Wow. So that's the wheel. I'm going to go ahead and pop it on the car right now, and I'll show you what it looks like here in a minute. Okay, so the wheels are finally on, and here's what they look like. It's kind of dark in here, so you probably aren't going to be able to see them that well because they're black and they kind of blend in with the shadows. But they are on there. I think it completely changes the look of the car, and big improvement over the stock silver Cassiopeia wheels that come on these 04 Gallardos. These are going to be, not only do they look good, but they're also going to be a lot easier for me to keep clean, because on the old silver wheels they would get covered in brake dust after like the first few miles. I mean, these brake calipers, the brake pads on these cars, they throw a lot of brake dust. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. But I mean, you can go for like a 20-minute drive, come back, and your freshly cleaned wheels would be covered in brake dust. At least on these black wheels, they won't show up as bad. You know, I also like the spoke design a lot better, just easier to clean, and you can see that the brake caliper, the detail of the brake caliper, a lot more with these wheels. You can actually see, you know, the Lamborghini script there. So yeah, there they are. OEM center caps. I think they look badass. I wish I could take it outside for you and get you a better view, but you know, it's winter time, so we're in the garage and we're kind of limited. Next mod, let me fix the blurriness here. Next mod will be, well, I didn't finish taking off the corners and the taillights. I gotta do that, so the next mod will be sending those out to a guy in Texas. I will give him a plug in the next video. But anyways, I'm sending them to a guy in Texas to smoke these out, and then I'm going to do the carbon fiber Superleggera wing, which is the wing that comes on the factory Gallardo Superleggeras, and it's going to get rid of this little wing here, so no longer will we have the little tiny wing that lifts up at, I think it's 60 or 70 miles an hour. Kind of sad, but obviously the look of the carbon fiber wing, I think, looks a lot better than that little thing. You can see the fast speed exhaust sticking through the vents there. Anyways, that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. If you have any questions about the wheels or the whole process, let me know. If you have any ideas for other videos, things you want me to cover, just let me know. Alright, bye.